Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and buckle up. We have a really good match for today. As you saw from the thumbnail and title, this is the championship match for Spring 2024 FXA's competitive league. They offer 3 different brackets. There's social, casual, and competitive, I believe, and this is going to be the competitive, so it's the cream of the crop. There's some really good golf played. Birdies are flying. Spoiler alert, both teams do break par, so there's some really good golf played. Just to give you all an idea, in case you're not familiar with the format, it is a 2-person scramble, and it's going to be match plays. So match plays, it's so much fun. Any golfer knows that. But shout out to the high hitters. We're playing Chris and Kevin, 2 awesome dudes. Shout out to them for letting me film this match. I think they're excited to be on camera and get on the channel. They're the number 1 seed for a reason. I think they went undefeated, if I remember correctly. My partner and I, Katie, who's been on my channel, we are the number 3 seed, and we made our way to the championship. So, fun fact, we actually played the high hitters week 1. We won't talk about what the score was, just know that, wasn't ideal, but Katie and I are looking forward to this. I mean, it's not going to be easy. We have our work cut out for us, and by the way, I should have narrated the shot. Kevin hit an absolute dart. I mean, that is just dart city. This is arguably the hardest hole on the entire course. I think everyone in this league knows starting on this hole with no driving range on Penderbrook, just good luck. It's like a 200, and there's sometimes wind. It's all carry, par 3, and in case it wasn't clear, you're going to see in a second, Kevin threw a dart to like 8-ish feet, which is insane to how you start the match. So yeah, they kind of threw the first punch. They hit us on the chin. I ended up hitting one short, and Katie's got my back here. She hit a really good one. The green didn't hold, so it held onto the fringe. But we had a really good look at birdie, so I'm not mad at that. I think I'm convinced. You could ask anyone in the league who's played this, if you could be guaranteed a par on this hole, I think 9 times out of 10 you would take it. So if you birdie this hole, just hats off to you. They have a really good look, so I am a little worried. So here we go. Are they going to be able to strike blood, throw one on the chin first? All right, we dodged one bullet. I'm Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. We're dodging out here. Chris, don't do it to me, man. Come on, I thought we were buddies. Don't do it to me. That is so brutal. Of course, he drains it. Oh, man. What a way to set the tone. So we're already down 1, but it's no big deal. I mean, all seriousness, that's a really tough hole. If they're going to birdie it, you just tip the cap, you move on, and now we have a short par 4. Another thing about this course, for people who've never played it, it's a very short course. I think the back 9 that we play is like a par 35, and it clocks in at, I think it's not even like 3,000 yards. So we play the blue tees, and you're going to learn quickly, Chris is a super long hitter. I had a running joke that if I could stay within 30 to 40 yards of his drive off the tee, I'd be happy. It also doesn't help. I mean, take a look at the weather. You're going to see me look down at my hand. I'm obviously going to use that excuse anytime I hit a bad shot. So yeah, I'm going to say that it was the rain there. All seriousness, though, you're going to see it was so bizarre. The rain stops, it picks up. It stops, it picks up. And when it picked up, it was not fun. But yeah, you're going to see, like, even right here, you're going to see some of my camera shots. You're going to see rain get in the way. It's crazy. But you know what? All this complaining gets you nowhere. Everyone has to deal with the rain, not just me, not just my partner. So let's keep going. You can see that Chris hit a really tight baby draw, which is the ideal shot you want to play on this hole. It leaves you with a really short chip in. So don't be an idiot like me. Don't use driver. You know, the weeks prior to this, I have been able to turn it over and hit a tight draw to pretty close to the front of the green, so I was getting greedy. And that's another thing, too. It's a championship match. Katie and I, our mindset was be as aggressive as possible. Let's try to attack greens. Let's make sure putts don't get left short. That was another piece of advice that Katie and I, my partner, you know, for match play people, you never want to have putts go short, especially the first putt. You want to see the line, let it go past. So one thing that we've really worked on all season is making sure that putts get there, we see the line, and especially in a championship match, I mean, you can't leave any putts short. All that said, watch me leave this putt short. It's pathetic. I'm not going to lie to you, and yes, here comes the rain excuse again. The rain did mess with me. I'm a very handsy player, so you'll notice my wedges, my putts, and everything's a little thrown off with the rain. I think I noticed like Chris and maybe Kevin, but Chris for sure, I noticed like he didn't even play with a glove the whole time. For anyone that golfs, I think you know that a wet glove is the absolute worst. So yeah, we had to fight the elements, fight all that, but anyway, here we go again. We have another look for birdie to lose the... Oh, Chris, come on. I thought we were friends, really. Those are, look at those circles start to pile up. I mean, you couldn't dream up better start for them. That's 2 birdies through 2 holes, and we are officially down 2. Not where we want to be, but again, if we're going to lose to birdies, I mean, hey, so be it. Tip the cap, move on, but yeah, those were, hole 10 was a really good birdie. Hole 11 is my partner and I, Katie, we've birdied that hole plenty of times. So that was almost like a must for them. Walking away with a par for us was brutal, but you know what? Still plenty of holes left. We got to chip away. This borderline becomes a must win. That's why match play is so fun. You'll notice we all have less than driver. This is a 90-degree left. You just want like 185 to 200-ish down the middle. It leaves you with a good layup shot, and you know, you can see, look at the camera, by the way. I told you, the rain has really started to pick up. It's going to die down a little bit, then pick up. It's just unbelievable. So they end up taking, I can't remember whose ball this was. It might have been Kevin's. I think Chris might have gone long. And shout out to Kevin, man. He was a killer today. Hole 10, he threw that dart to 8 feet. You'll notice one here, and I don't know if you can see it because of the rain, but he throws another one. Unbelievable. That literally might be another 7-8 feet again. Chris hits a good one, but it's a little long, not as tight as Kevin, so they end up taking his again. And it's just funny. I'm convinced they purposely laid up shorter than us so they could set the tone and send a message on their approach shot here, because we're in prime position down here. This is a really intimidating shot. You can see there's a lot of water, but to counter that, there is a very big green. This is probably one of the widest greens. So my partner Katie goes first, and unfortunately she goes into the water. That's splashdown. You'll notice it changes my mindset here. So you heard me say earlier, championship match, be aggressive. Notice my line. So that's not a miss hit. I purposely go super left, middle green. The pin is on that right-hand side if it wasn't clear. So it's just funny how match play works, where because one was OB and I have to stay in bounds, I pretty much play the most conservative route. It was too conservative. I end up babying it and hitting it short. I'm also going to blame the rain, and that was a wedge, and my gloves wet, so you've already heard that. And all seriousness, I mean, this is like a very straightforward chip, and I sail that to like 20 feet past. Unbelievable. It's never a good sign when even after your approach, they're still tighter than you. Like that's how good of a shot Kevin hit. I mean, what does that look like on camera? Probably 8 to 10 feet. So this now becomes a borderline must make. So Katie hit a really good one. She had the line. She got it past Mark. Come on. If this doesn't go in, I'm just going home. Go to the parking lot. Oh, man. You big, strong man. You big, handsome devil. What a putt. Yes, I'm tooting my own horn. It's my video. I can do whatever I want. Get over it. But we've seen how this story ends the last 2 holes. So Kevin hits it short, right on cue. And then here comes the killer. Chris, spare us one time. Keep the match. Come on. Let this be competitive one time. If this goes in, I'm either going straight to the bar or straight to my car and going home. Oh, let's go. He's human, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that was a push, par, and I'm going to let you know, that felt like an absolute big victory, especially when we were scrambling and they had a really good look. So hey, momentum's kind of on our side, right? We're down 2, but you know what? That was a really good morale boost for the team. We have a really short, it's like 137, I think is what this was playing. It says 140 on the card, but Chris hits an absolute perfect baby draw that barely left the pin. I knew this is good the second left his club. It was just a matter of distance, and you'll see here comes a little fishing reel. Look at him. God, he's taunting us. I love it, by the way. He threw a shot that rolled back to like 7-8 feet. This now makes like 4 holes where they have 8 feet or less to make birdie. I end up getting one. I hit it super thin. It got over. It was in the backside rough, and then Katie hits one in the backside rough too. So we're chipping, they're putting tight. Yikes, the wheels are borderline falling off. This chip that we picked, by the way, so is either flop it over the bunker with mine, because I was to the right of it, or look how, man, I feel bad for Katie. She was like 1 yard from being perfect. If you can kind of see on the camera, the landing zone is the top of that where like the bunker is, and you let it ride down. I blast this, bye ball, later ball. All my touch is gone. It's just not a good look. So again, we are still outside. I think we have like a 20-footer here, but hey, okay, is what happened last time. Katie showed me the line, no excuse. Come on, Mark, put some pressure on. Let's try to make one. Oh, I thought I had it. So it's funny, we're not even in for that yet, but basically they can two-putt from there, and this is not even like 6 feet. It's like 5, 6 feet. So they can two-putt from there to win. I'm pretty sure I told them, and I'm speaking over the audio right now, but I think I told them, like, hey, you guys are good. We conceded the hole, but, you know, for the camera, let's get a birdie. Come on, Chris. Wow, he really is human. Okay. So bad bogey there. We can't be giving away holes like that, especially on one of the easiest holes. It's a 137 par 3. Yes, there's water. Yes, there's a bunker. It's no excuse. As a duo, as a scramble team, you've got to be able to par that one. But here we go, par 5, and everyone knows when you play the back nine, this is a borderline par 4 that is a par 5. It always makes you feel good when you can say you can eagle this, but I think it plays like 490 yards, I think. It plays a lot less sometimes when it's a front pin, but the defense, and by the way, that was one of my best struck balls. I hit that center face, and that was the small fade that I love. But yeah, the defense on this hole, it's very, very narrow, if you can't tell. All OB left, there's a creek on your right that actually runs through, and you'll see the creek on the next shot. So it's a very gettable 5. I've reached this on my own plenty of times. Having Katie from the forward tees is a weapon too, but shot of the day alert. Oh man, he's going to replay this over and over again. Just to give you all, I mean, you know the context of the match. We're down 2, and I'm not going to lie, this took the wind out of my sails a little bit when I saw that. You're going to see me hype up this shot in just a moment, but I was about 5 to 7 yards in front of them on the left, so my guess is they had like 195-ish, 190 to 195, because I think I had like 185 to 190. Long-winded way of saying he hit a perfect shot, took like 1 or 2 bounces, and you're going to see how tight it is. So he has a chance, because that was his drive, he has a chance for a natural eagle. It's no big deal. We can still respond. I just need to be able to get it somewhat close, ideally on the green, and we leak it right. I actually struck it really good. I don't know if it was just wet, the rough, whatever. I'm not that mad. I struck it good, and you're going to see me here. I'm hyping him up. I think I talk over my audio right now, but take a look at this shot. I mean, that looks a lot further than it does on camera. If I remember, that's like 5 feet. Can you imagine sticking it to 5 feet, championship match, when I'm already down 2? It's like, geez, when it rains, it pours. But again, hats off, kudos to Kevin, hell of a shot. And if we're going to lose to eagles, because we still have a shot to birdie this, we just need to go up and down and we can birdie it. If we're going to lose to eagles, you lose to eagles. It just happens. But I hit an okay approach shot. It didn't roll out as much as I'd want it. It leaves us with like a 7-8 footer, and Katie hit a really good pot. It snapped left, but I saw the line, so I have no excuse here. Just make sure you don't leave it short. Let's get it there. Okay, we got it there. We didn't make it. So I think Kevin has a chance to natural eagle. They're good. They pretty much won the hole. It's 2 putts, but can he do it? God, oh my God, what a guy, what a team. I mean, Chris, you owe this guy a back massage, man. This guy just carried you to a self-eagle. That's a natty eagle there. Look at them dancing on us. I love it. 2 cool dudes, like I told you. But hey, Kevin, super nice eagle. That was awesome to watch again on camera, and they're feeling it. And it sucks that I cut this out, but prior to this shot that Chris is about to take, he actually looks at the camera and says, buckle up. He's going to let one fly. And I don't think you guys understand. That was absolutely murdered. That ball was pooped on. Look at him. This guy is such a showsman. I love it. Yeah, that was absolutely hammered. I had to dap him up, give him a little fist bump there. Funny part is, seeing that inspired me. I actually swung a little harder than I usually do. And I hit this really, really good. So I edited this out of the video, but we end up measuring the difference between them. So I clocked mine at around 280-ish. I think it was like 282. And I think I told you earlier, if I can stay within 30 to 40 yards of Chris, I'm happy. So he ends up gunning my ball to his. He was 32 yards in front of me. So that means he clocked it probably 310 to 315 in the rain. That's where his ball ended up. So this just becomes driver wedge, where it's a pretty long par 4. Anyway, I forgot to give my partner Katie some kudos there. She hit a really good one from her tee box. In fact, she could have driven the green, but it leaked right, and we're right next to that bunker on the right. So we're not dead. And if I didn't announce this earlier and it wasn't clear, we're officially dormy, by the way. Of course, Chris throws a dart. They came to play, man. So we have to get up and down. We need to make birdie. It's pretty much over. If not, we need to keep this alive. So Katie hits an okay one. She gets it on the green. We need to throw one pretty tight. And it's never a good feeling to be in Dormy. You just have to play super aggressive no matter what. But I throw an okay one. It leaves us like 10-ish feet. But hey, we've made longer putts before. So you can see them. They're in for about, of course, like 5-6 feet. And we have like 10. This is an absolute must make if we want to keep the match alive. Let's go. Katie, great putt. Hell of a putt there. So we put a little bit of pressure on them. So this putt, it's funny. If we end up losing the match on a birdie push, then you know what? It just wasn't our day. And again, you tip the cap. Wow.
Good bird.
It happened. Unbelievable. Great putt there from Kevin. Great drive and approach from Chris. That was a true team effort, but that's a lot of circles on the card. Kudos to them. That was an awesome match. You can see that they officially closed it out. One quirky thing about FXA and how this league works, even though they won, so they're officially champions, score differential in the regular season matters. So you actually want to play out the holes. So, for example, if we end up winning, Katie and I, the next 3 holes and the final score is 4-3, the point differential actually matters for playoff and seeding purposes. Obviously, this is the championship, so the match is just over, but why not get the last 3 holes? And notice how the rain starts pouring. This is actually the hardest it poured. And of course, I think I make a joke that when the match is over, I start feeling it and turn it on. So, I mean, when there's no pressure, I can finally shine, right? I just crumble. That was an absolute dart, by the way. That was my shot of the day. That was a 197-yard par 3 in pouring rain, and I put that to about 7 feet, like 6-7 feet. You'll see in a moment.
Like, given the weather and stuff, look at those shots right there.
Oh, yeah. Chris
right
talked to him.
I mean, he's not wrong. Look at that. We have Chris pin high on the left on the fringe. I'm to like 7 feet. Katie's about 15 feet short. And then Kevin, I think he was like 25 feet short. But all things considered, with the pouring rain, this is a tough par 3. This is just, I mean, this is a match. I mean, welcome to the competitive league. Birdies start flying. I wouldn't even be shocked if they make this. At this point, since they already won, you're just rooting for them to go low. It'd be cool to see them extremely low. And I think I remember asking them, and I hope I don't mess this up or misquote them, but I asked them, like, what's their PR for, like, the season? I want to say they were, like, 6 or 7 under they've gotten to, so that's insane. For people that are watching this, maybe to scope out how competitive is competitive league, Katie and I, our personal PR, I think it's 3 or 4 under, but I would say most teams that are in the running, you probably need to be at even par at the absolute worst, and then probably between 1 to 3 under is a very safe. Oh yeah, let's go. By the way, just made that birdie. That's a natural birdie. The circles are coming. Here we go. Can we birdie out? Let's just end the season on a high note, even though the match is over. But anyway, I was saying how I personally think, based on the whole season that we played, anywhere from about 1 to 3 under keeps you competitive. You'll actually win a lot of matches closer to 2, 3, 4 under. If you're just Chris and Kevin and you play like you're playing today, you're probably going to go undefeated like you guys did. So if you're using this as a scout and you're thinking about signing up, my recommendation is maybe try a 9-hole scramble with your friend or potential partner. If you're around even par or worse, you probably want to be in the casual league. If you're at even par, maybe a little bit better and breaking it, you can probably hang in competitive. So keep that in mind. And anyway, back to the golf. So I missed Kevin's shot, but this is their second shot. Chris went OB on his tee shot. Kevin's hung on in the rough. They get a free drop because it was like a ground under repair area. But I missed Kevin's second shot, and Chris hits an absolute missile. It's a little short. I think they must have had like 250 plus. He's a little short. Katie's drive is what we take, so we're here in the right rough. I think we have about 190 in. I take my 200 to 205 club, and I took extra club on purpose. I'm in the rough, downhill lie, and it's wet and raining, obviously. Such a bad move. I overshoot the green. It lands on the green, just rolls out to the back rough. And notice do you see how the fringe is being repaired? This is where it hurt us. I was actually in the back ground under repair fringe area, so we had to take a drop into the rough in the back, but oh well, match is already over. What are you going to do about it?
Beauty.
So of course, here they are. Chris, it's a really good one to about 6-7 feet again. So this is what I'm talking about. You can see that we took a drop behind. We were in that stuff, and obviously we're probably putting it if we're in the fringe, but no big deal. We'll get over it. So third shot here, we can get up and down and be really, oh boy, bye ball later. Sailed that one a little bit to a lot further than we wanted to. So we probably have now 9-10 feet instead of hopefully anything under 6. But you know what? 2 cracks at it. Oh, that was a really good putt. You didn't give it enough juice, but that was the line. I remember telling myself I'd rather degreen this ball right here. And so, oh yeah. We end up making it. I don't know if you saw how much gas that thing had. I'm probably back, and I degreen back to where we started if that doesn't hit the cup. I'm being dramatic. Maybe it's not. So here they are. If they birdie this again, and they have the hole, like if this is the second hole where we actually birdie and just push, I mean, that's, of course they do. Chris, the match is over, dude. Cut us some slack, man. That's a lot of circles on the card. Now you're just rooting for them. I hope they birdie 18. For anyone that knows 18, aka hole 9 in our match, super short par 4 where I'm not a long hitter, as people know, and I've driven this green. I've gotten to the green side bunker. I've gotten it to the fringe. This is one you definitely circle on the card as par or better, ideally.
That's
a birdie.
A high hitter.
So this is actually so short. You're going to see in a moment that Chris takes, I think he takes 3 wood. I think he takes less than driver. However, even though it's a shorter 4, there is a creek that runs through. There's a lot of tall grass. There's a fairway bunker. So don't think that this is just an easy hole you automatically birdie. There's a lot to think about. So taking driver isn't just the auto play. A lot of people may potentially lay up, which isn't crazy. And Katie, she's actually driven the green multiple times too, so she has a really good look at it. We actually end up taking her ball, so you're going to see in a moment she's pinned high. She's just on the rough in the right. And then you'll see that they take Chris's ball, which is just short of like the creek and kind of cart path area-ish. So they end up chipping on. I don't know if that was clear or not, but Kevin ends up hitting it just maybe 1 yard too short. It goes into that bunker, which you can't see. And maybe Chris got scared of it and hit it long, as he's on, but not as tight as he usually throws it. So again, maybe he's human. So here's our chance. We would love to birdie out. That'd be a hell of a way to close the match out with 4 birdies on our end. Katie hits one. It's okay. It's okay. I need to get one pretty close. And oh, I wish I could have this chip back. I actually hit my spot in target zone, but it's kind of hard to tell on camera. I thought it would roll out a lot more than it did, and it didn't. It just stopped. So we're left still with probably 12 to 15 feet. Here's their birdie attempt, and that is not a bad putt at all. I'm rooting for them. I'm telling you, I want to see a birdie here. This would be a ridiculous number to end with. He just burned the edge. At least he got it there. So they're technically not in. I guess the camera made that look a lot closer, but I think they were still like 3-ish feet. And here we go. So we now have a chance to try and win this hole with the birdie. So here's putt number 1. And oh, that one hurts so bad because I was right in the heart. From my point of view, I saw it. So again, saw the line, no excuse. And here goes back to my comment of I'd rather degreen than leave it short. We blast that thing through. I was actually really, really close to making it. It did have a chance. So anyway, as we start wrapping up, here's a par to have. Obviously, he's making that. So there's the par have hole. Congratulations again, Chris and Kevin, the high hitters. Hell of a match. 2 awesome people, by the way. If you like music, drinking beers, I mean, they're just a good time. Shout out to my partner, Katie. Had a blast this season. If you're watching this, we're obviously running it back when I'm ready. And then there's the final scorecard. So hats off to them. That is a 6 under 29. I mean, that's ridiculous. But hope you enjoyed this, and until next time.